Alrighty guys, so in this video I'm going to be doing, well, not really, this ain't really a benchmark, but I'm having a lot of issues with the PC performance with Hogwarts Legacy, and I kind of wanted to make a video just sort of outlining it, shining some light on the issues. I don't know if they're issues with my system, I don't know if they're bottlenecks, or they could just be issues with the actual game itself that need to be fixed in a patch. I'm not really sure, but the issues that I have now, I did actually notice this in my benchmarking video, which is my previous video, but you might notice that my GPU is at 93% utilization, and I do have an RTX 3070. You can see my main PC specs in that gray bar below the FPS. I have a RTX 3070, Ryzen 5 5600X, and 16 gigs of 4000 megahertz RAM. And as you can see, my GPU is fully utilized right now. It says it was, or it did say 100%. It's at 98 right now, but my GPU power is at 140 watts. That doesn't make sense, because normally if your GPU is being fully utilized, you're going to be at your max power consumption, which for my GPU is 240 watts. Or it does sometimes go up to like 260, but generally around 240 watts is where it would be at if it was being fully utilized. But for some reason we're at 145 watts, and we're being fully utilized, which that just confuses me. Doesn't make any sense. But I'm almost kind of wondering if it is a VRAM limitation, because as you can see, we are at well 7.2 gigabytes. I have 8 gigabytes of this GPU has 8 but I was almost wondering if it was a VRAM limitation, because my GPU does have 8 gigabytes of RAM, and we are at 7.2 gigabytes. And one thing I noticed is right now we are on all high settings, as you can see, and I did restart the game, so everything here is applied, and I don't have ray tracing on, and I'm playing at 1440p with TAA high. I think we'll turn VSync off just for this video. Uncapped frame rates, everything here as usual. Depth of field's on, all this stuff is off. This is what I'm playing at, but if I change this to, let's say, TAA low, which theoretically I think should make it easier on the GPU, I think. Okay, the FPS, why is it lower? I think we were hovering right around 30 or 40 before. Why is it lower? So this is some of the issues that I'm having here. Is I turned a setting down so that the FPS can go up, but I'm losing FPS. That is just so confusing to me, and I'm not sure why. That is something that I think might have something to do with the actual game itself and how it was optimized. I'm not sure though. Okay, we went up a little bit. We're almost to 30, almost. But as you can see, my GPU is still being fully utilized, and the memory is still the same. Even though I turned down a setting, which maybe we'll try doing like... Let's try turning on a scaling technique. Let's try DLSS. And we'll put it on quality. There we go. FPS should get better. Okay, that's better. That's better. Almost to 60. Here, I'll reset the averages. Actually, I should mention the FPS number on the bottom, but all the way to the left is the real-time FPS. The number in the middle is the average FPS, and the number on all the way to the right is the 1% lows. So yeah, now you know. But still, even though we turned a setting on that should improve FPS quite a bit, and granted it did improve a tiny bit, it's still really low. And I'm playing on high with no ray tracing and with DLSS on quality. And if you're wondering where I'm at on the map, I am in Hogsmeade. I just got here, so yeah. And also check out that frame time graph. That thing is stuttering all over the place. Ideally, if you don't know, you want that frame time, the graph, the line in that graph to be flat. Just no spikes at all. I want it to be as flat as possible. But once again, I turned down a setting that should help the GPU run, or take less stress off the GPU. and we didn't gain that much FPS. Now the real test here, and I did do this off camera, but I'm showing you guys. Let's turn on ultra performance. We're rendering in the game at 480p. 480p. And the FPS it's a tiny bit better. I'll reset the averages so you can see. A tiny bit better. I mean, not really. Maybe a little bit. So basically what I'm getting at is, I don't think it's a GPU bottleneck, for sure. But I also don't think it's a CPU bottleneck, because I did test this off camera. And I'm not going to do it again because it is kind of a pain in the butt. But I put on this graph over here, I put it so that it would show all 12 of my CPU threads in my 6 cores. So I could see the utilization of everything on my CPU and nothing, even doing the same exact tests in the same area. And I believe it was around the same time of day. None of my threads or cores were anywhere near maxed out. The highest one was 60%. And that was on core number 1. And as you can see, currently we're at 50% utilization. And you know, just for this video, I will do what I did before so y'all can see. Okay, as you can see, none of my cores, I believe, okay, for something to be, or for a CPU to be a bottleneck, the overall percentage, which would be the top percentage there, right below GPU memory, that percentage, which is at 54% right now, doesn't have to be 100% for it to be for it to be a CPU bottleneck. But some of the cores that the game was utilizing should be at 100% for it to be a CPU bottleneck, and nothing there is at 100%. So I don't think it's a CPU bottleneck. And right now, currently, once again, we're getting high GPU usage, and once again, the wattage is really low. I'm still so confused of that. Even though theoretically, we're using something that should take a lot of stress off the GPU and put maybe even more stress on the CPU. Let's try, see, one thing that I don't like about this, and it's not really a big thing, but to apply settings here, you do have to restart the game. But I'm wondering if I can go down to medium settings. Okay, darn it. Okay, once again, I'm at medium settings now, so the FPS really should be higher, and we gain 10. At the most 10 FPS. We're up to 75. I'll reset the averages, y'all can see. Okay, well, it goes up to 90 when we face someplace that's not as busy. But even still, we're going down to 60, and we're at medium settings. And I believe we are still on... yes, the dealer says ultra performance, medium settings, with an RTX 3070 and a Ryzen 5 5600X. Like, what the heck? That is just weird. No matter what we do, while we are gaining a tiny bit of FPS, we're not gaining much at all. And in some areas, it's kind of just the same. So pretty much what I'm getting at in this video is just what the heck is the bottleneck? And like, is anybody else having this issue? Because like, I don't know what would be the bottleneck. Clearly, I don't think it's a CPU. The GPU, while it does sometimes go up to 100%, it's just, for some reason, the GPU power is not where it should be. It's half of what it should be. And like currently right now, we're at 55% GPU usage. None of the cores are being fully maxed out. And I'm also not running out of RAM. I have another 4 gigabytes of RAM that it could be using right now. And we have like another almost a full gigabyte of video memory that it could be using right now too. So I'm just wondering, is anybody else having this problem? And if you are, let me know in the comments. I'm always curious. And I'm sorry that I don't really have any solutions in this video. I am going to keep messing around with this as I'm playing the game and just seeing if I can get anything to change or figure out what the bottleneck is. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, then hey, drop a like down below. I'd always appreciate that. And I am going to be making more Hogwarts Legacy content like this, not just performance related stuff. I'll probably do some tutorials and stuff like that if I find anything difficult on the game. So yeah, get subscribed maybe, and yeah, hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.